Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you are today. I don't know what time it is. So, listen, my name's Sam. If you're listening to this message, then chances are that I've had the pleasure of meeting you already once or twice in person, or someone that really, really loves you is sending you this message. And so I wanted to send you this little daily dose of inspiration, and I wanted to talk a little bit about self-doubt. And the reason I want to talk about self-doubt is self-doubt seems to be really prevalent in my world right now, with people around me, clients, friends, kids. A lot of self-doubt seems to be going around. And I've noticed there seems to be a theme, right? Whenever there is one person that feels like they're doubting themselves, I then start to notice that pattern in other people. And this morning when I was at the gym, I was listening to one of my morning inspirational videos, and this guy started talking about self-doubt, and he gave me one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Now, I'm rubbish at remembering people's names. I think the guy's name was Lavar. Anyway, that's not important. But what he talked about was, he said that passion was the antidote to self-doubt. Passion is the antidote to self-doubt. And I love that so much, right? Because think about it, okay? We're always talking about find your passion, what's your passion, what are you passionate about? And I think like kids tend to, if you ask a kid what they want to be, they'll go, I want to be a famous ice skater or an actor or a singer, or I want to be a surfer. And it's usually something that they really are passionate about, because when they're a kid, they haven't started to think about the logistics yet. They haven't started to think about, am I smart enough? Or, can I make a lot of money doing that? Or, do I have the talent and ability to be a professional surfer? They just tend to answer you based on what they are passionate about, which is really cool, right? But then as they get a bit older, kids tend to then start learning things like logistics and fear. And they start having people say things like, well, if you want to go to, become a zookeeper, then you have to go to university. And then that self-doubt kicks in their brain, because they go, oh, university, that's like school. And well, I hate school, so why would I want more of that? And then they start telling themselves this story about why maybe it's not right for them. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but I know when I was in school, I hated school. Like, I hated it. I struggled from day one, right? I struggled socially because I didn't fit in I was the round peg not fitting in the square hole, or whatever which way you want to call it. I was different. I found myself, I was out there and I was a bit crazy, and so I didn't fit the mold. And so I always struggled. I felt like I wasn't part of the crowd. And this is really showing up for me a lot right now with my daughter. And one of the things that I realized is that self-doubt about my own identity, I wanted to change my personality, I wanted to fit in, I wanted to blend. That self-doubt killed everything. And if we go back to that passion, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actress, right? And then I wanted to be a vet. And when I wanted to be a vet, I started realizing that I had to be really good in school. And so that self-doubt kicked in and went, yeah, but you're dumb. You're stupid. You struggle in school. You're never going to get the grades. You have to get 98.6 on your HSC, it was back then. And so that self-doubt started kicking me to the curb, right? And so something I've kind of worked out recently is that you have these voices inside your head. And it's not something that I've worked out recently. I've understood it for a long time. But what I've done recently is I've given these voices a name, because everybody has that inner critic, right? Everybody has that voice inside their head that says to them, you're not clever enough, you're not smart enough, you're not as good as them. And you've got your own version, right? But I know you know what I'm talking about. And so for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to call that person Red, because that's what I've named her, right? The nasty person who's negative and is whinging and telling me I'm no good and telling me everyone else is always better. I've named her Red, right? But then you have this other voice inside your head, the one who's fighting, and her name is Angel. And she's the one that says, you're amazing, you're awesome, you've got this, you're great. You're always going to have these two voices. Which one are you going to choose to listen to? Now, here's what happens. This one, Red, when she voices up and she goes, you're hopeless, you're useless, and then someone outside in the world says, you're no good at that, you're hopeless, This voice goes, see, told ya, ha, 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 ha. And all of a sudden, you start joining those voices together and acting as if it's real. And you then have a belief system that you're not good enough, you're not clever enough, you're not smart enough. And that self-doubt kicks in. But this voice, Angel, right, she's telling me I'm awesome and I'm amazing and I'm fabulous, right? And so this is the voice we want to start listening to. This is the voice you want to feed. It's like, this is, there's another thing. The Cherokee Indians talk about a white wolf and a dark wolf, right? And the dark wolf is filled with anger and jealousy and greed, and the white wolf is filled with love and light and happiness and peace. And the kid says to the elder, which one of these wolves is going to win? And the elder says, well, whichever one you feed the most is going to win, right? So think about these two voices inside your head. One is self-doubt. Mine's called Red. One is called Angel. That's what mine's called. And that's the one that's positive. Okay? So going back to passion and self-doubt, and passion being the antidote to self-doubt, think of it this way. You're always going to have doubts in life. So if you are not passionate about the thing you're doing, when those doubts kick in, it's going to be much easier to listen to that negative voice because you're not passionate about it anyway, right? And you'll be able to talk yourself out. So there is so many people running around in this world doing something they don't love, right? Doing something they're not passionate about in this world. And the problem with that is that the second that self-doubt kicks in, they start beating themselves up. And the outcome of that is they end up feeling anxious or depressed, or they eat food because they don't feel good, or they take drugs, or they drink alcohol, right? So I really loved when I heard passion was the antidote for self-doubt, because what it made me realize is the reason I'm now feeling so much better about my life, and the reason that I've stepped into my power, is that I'm passionate about what I do. And I still have that voice, Red, she's still there, she still pipes up, she still has things to say, but when she speaks up now, Angel goes, hang on a sec, shut up, back in your box, Red, we've got this. Sam's awesome, she's amazing, she's fabulous, she's really good at inspiring people, she's great, she's making a difference in the world. And Red, no matter how much she starts going in my ear, just gets quieter and quieter and quieter. So next time you're feeling a bit down and you're starting to doubt yourself, ask yourself a question. Are you really passionate about that thing, right? Whatever it is, whether it is your work, whether it's the fact that you're ice skating, whether you're trying to learn to play tennis, it doesn't matter whether you're talking about something in your personal life or your professional life. Self-doubt is going to come in at some point. And the way to drown it out is if you're passionate about it, okay? That passion is the antidote for self-doubt. So I'm going to do my best to find the credit for the guy. I was listening to a podcast this morning. It was on Tom Bilyeu's Impact Theory, and the guy's name was LeVar, someone or other, and he's an actor, and he was very cool, and I really loved the way that he spoke, and it inspired me to give you this little daily dose of inspiration. So this is the segment Sam Says, and what would Sam say when self-doubt kicks in? Sam would say, I'm awesome, I'm amazing, I freaking rock. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope maybe it's shed some light on when that self-doubt kicks in, what you can do. And I challenge you, go out there and name your two voices, right? Give them names. My daughter's name is Braxton. Braxton, get back in the box. She's got a nice Bailey, and Bailey's her version of the angel. So put a name to it and just know that that negative voice is not you, okay? But everyone's got it. All right, guys, that's it. Enough from me today. I hope this has been helpful. If it has been helpful, then share it with someone that you love, someone that you think needs to hear it today. And yeah, this has been my special message that I've recorded just for you. Big hugs, lots of love.